Well, hello, Stampers. I can tell you it must be noontime on Wednesday, and you are creating with Colleen. My name is Colleen Magness. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on the East Coast of Virginia, and I come to you live every Wednesday. You've probably been having a busy day. I hope you've had a productive day, and now it's just time to take a break and eat your lunch and watch me create. So today, I am going to be sharing a card. I'm going to show you a simple way and then just stepped up a little bit to add a little bit of extra color to show you how you can create a card two different ways. Just again, by stepping it up a little bit. So the first one's going to be great for a beginner and or an avid stamper who just needs to save a little bit of time. And then my second card, I'm just going to show you a little bit of tricks to add that extra color. So everybody will be coming on, but hey Lynn, how are you doing today? We are creating with Sale-A-Bration. Stampin' Up! Has Sale-A-Bration now for only 2 months out of the year. So February, we are already in the second month. And with Sale-A-Bration, you can earn free product with every order that you place. And there are some great products in here. So for a $50 minimum order, you can get the Island Vibes, Daffodil Afternoon Delight, which is some beautiful paper, the Catching Butterflies, Driving By stamp set, some Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper, which coordinates with a bundle that we have in our new mini catalog. Simply Marvelous. I have been loving this paper. Really, I've loved all these items. Awesome Otters. All those items that I just told you about, you can get free with a minimum $50 order. And now we have the Friendly Hello stamp set. That you can get free with a minimum $100 order because that includes the 12 by 12 designer paper and the stamp set that coordinates with it. Or one of the other products I'm using today are the Special Moments, this stamp set here. It is a great stamp set. It's photopolymer, and again, it's just wonderful because it has 21 different sayings in here. So it'll pretty much cover any occasion that you need for a card. So those are the products you can earn free with qualifying order. If you collect orders from your friends or if you just place your own order, not only do you get hostess benefits, but you can get the Calming Camellia stamp set. So it's a great time to get free product. So coming in here, let me see who has popped on. Sandy, oh, it's snowing in St. Louis. We actually had 2 weekends of snow, and I'm glad to see the sun. Snow is great, but you know, everything in moderation they teach you in life. So enjoy, Sandy. And Kay is here. Hey, gals, glad you could all join me. So everybody's doing great. I'm going to get started, and I'll try to keep an eye on my comments. So as I said, the 2 stamp sets I'm using, I earned free, and this is called Island Vibes. And it's really a really cool set. And of course, you know I love it because it has that distinctive stamping. My favorite type of stamp. And then the Special Moments. We have everything from Happy Birthday, Thinking of You. I couldn't wait for a special occasion. I love that. Where would I be without a friend like you? With Sympathy, Thank you for brightening my day. All kinds of different sayings that you can use for any occasion of card. So I don't have a picture of the simple card I'm making, and I don't want it to spoil and you see the card, the stepped up one. So you're gonna just blindly watch me stamp. It's kind of like a mystery stamp, and you could try to figure out what I'm making. Hey, Bonita, and Debbie's here. Gwen is here. See, I just love when you do a Facebook Live like this because no matter where you are in the world, you can join me. Thanks, gals. So let me tell you the pieces you're gonna need. This is an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of cinnamon cider, one of our awesome in colors, and you're gonna score that at 4 1/4. Then I have, for the inside, a 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of basic white. I have a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inch piece of crushed curry, and I've already embossed this with the time worn type. And this is a great embossing folder, excuse me. It's a 3D folder, and it's awesome because it just gives you that texture on any of your cardstocks. And I am a texture person, gotta tell you that. Then you are going to need a piece of 2 inch by 5 1/8 inch piece of old olive, And you will need a 1 3/4 by 4 7/8 piece of basic white. So that's what you're gonna need for the first card. And when I do the stepped up version, I'll show you the other pieces that you're gonna need. It's only 2 more pieces, but I think it makes a difference in the card. So first thing you're gonna do is you will take your piece of cinnamon cider, and where it is scored, you're just gonna fold that in half and crease it. And incidentally, the dimensions I just showed you, I will put them on my blog by the end of the week because I've been trying to take my videos and transfer them to my blog, and I've taken a picture of all the pieces of cardstock and the dimensions, so you'll find it there. So here's my cinnamon cider. This is my card base. Then I'm just going to take the 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inch crushed curry that is embossed. And I will take these 2 pieces here. The first thing I want to do, I'm going to work with these 2 first. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Again, this is going to be like a simple stamping because sometimes we just need a quick card. And we might not have all afternoon to stamp, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I will take cinnamon cider ink and I'm going to stamp at the top. Where would I be without a friend like you? I think I could say that for everybody who is watching right now on my live. You are all a blessing to me. So I've stamped that. Now there are a couple elements in this stamp set that I love. The other one is the pineapple. Again, it's a realistic looking pineapple. So you can color this 2 tones. Basically what you want to do is I can take my markers. Now this isn't the blends. You want your Marvelous markers because the blends are an alcohol ink and they will dry quickly. And the Marvelous markers are a water-based ink. They are like our ink pads. So this will not dry right away. And if it does, we're just gonna moisten it with our breath. You'll see that. And it comes right back to life. So I don't have to worry about working too quickly. So I could take the crushed curry marker on the bottom and then the Old Olive on the top. But I can also take, I found it was just as easy, if not easier. I'll show you 2 different ways. I'm just gonna stamp my crushed curry on the bottom of this pineapple. And you always wanna use the brush end and you always want to use the side of it. You don't want to crush the tip of your marker. You wanna keep that nice and sharp so when you do your coloring. And again, I could talk, I could do whatever, because being a water base, I'm not gonna blow on it, I'm gonna huff on it. I don't even know if it's attractive, so I won't show you on the video, but you know what I'm doing when I go, and I'm just going to stamp this. Whew, I can't see. Let me do this. White on white is not my friend. Okay, so I can just stamp this here. And there I have my 2-tone pineapple. And again, I love it because it's so realistic looking. So I will take this and mount it to my Old Olive piece. And the reason I said I wanted to do this first, because sometimes when you're cutting, y'all know I like it just right, you can put this on here, and if it's just like a little bit over, say my Old Olive was a little bit bigger, then I could trim this before I put it on there because I am going to want this to match up perfectly like that. So I am going to put this in the middle. Like that. And then this on the front. So Gwen said she has never tried that. Would that be the coloring your stamps with the marker, Gwen? That was something that I thankfully learned a long time ago. And again, the reason for it was because you could take a stamp and you could color it. So you have different colors on the stamp. Or say, for example, I had this pineapple and there were words down here and it was all one stamp. I could either just use the words by coloring it with a marker, or I could just color the top. Okay, that's what she said. That's what she was talking about, and she's definitely going to try it. Good for you, Gwen. Good for you. I've been in Stampin' Up! Over 20 years, and I still learn things that are new. So here I have the front, very simple. Now to decorate the inside, I'm going to take that 3 3/4 by 5 inch basic white and some of the other stamps in here that I love. Well, I love them all. Let's just get that straight. Is I'm going to take my old olive, and I love these palms. You can put the palms this way. You could put them this way. This way. It just makes a nice border on your card. Now, one of the tips I'll give you here is you can see there is a ledge that is flat. You can either take your stamps, since you can cut the rubber, and trim it closer, or when you go to stamp, just make sure that you're slightly up and over so that this part meets on the corners of your cardstock. That's experience talking right there. And if you do have a little gap, you have a second side. That's why I love Stampin' Up. And I love stamping because you get a second chance, or you could take a sponge, you could sponge that edge. You know, that's just where the creativity comes in. You're just gonna have to figure it out. But again, that's when I think it gets fun. So I'm just going to put my palms up here, getting ready to go to the islands. Oh, I don't want to shut that. And then I'm also going to take this cute little plant, and I could have done where I take the marker and I could color in the cinnamon cider my bottom pot and my plant green. I could do that on the stamp, but since I didn't have the cinnamon cider marker, what I've done is I will just stamp this whole thing with my old olive. And then on a scrap piece of paper ahead of time, I had stamped some of the little pots in the cinnamon cider. So very simply, I'm just going to cut this with my paper snips, which are the best scissors in the world. Just saying. And I will take my adhesive, and then I could just put this right over my pot. And it's good because even though it's only raised a little bit, it gives it some dimension, a little bit of depth there. And this will go on the inside. Okay. So when I stamped, forgot to tell you, the stamp set does not have the words. So the Island Vibes, you can get free. It's called a level 1 stamp set, Sale-A-Bration stamp set. So for a minimum $50 order, you could get this for free now through February 28th. But my words did come from that Special Moments. Again, there's 21 different sayings in here, and that's called a level 2 Sale-A-Bration stamp set. And you can get that free with a minimum $100 order. So this is the basic, simple card, and let me check my comments, and then I'm going to show you how to step it up just a little bit. A lot of fun. Oh, thank you, Gwen. Hey, Diane. Diane always goes to Florida this time of year. Good for you. I hope you have a beautiful day, Diane. And we have Bonita on here. She ordered it yesterday. So yes, it is good to see a card with samples on it. Snips are wonderful. They are. And Patty is here. All right. And Colleen is here. So thank you, gals. This is this card, but let me show you how to step it up with just a little bit of color. So you are going to use all the same parts that I showed you for the first card. The only 2 pieces you're going to add in extra is you want a 4" by 5 1/4" inch piece of pumpkin pie, and you're just going to need a scrap of basic white cardstock. All the other pieces are the same. So I will take my cinnamon cider, my card base, I'm going to fold that in half and put it aside. And then we are going to stamp this strip right here. So what I'm going to do is I will go back to my words with my cinnamon cider. Debbie said, don't you know that's the only set in sunshine and rainbows that I don't have? Well, Deb, we know how that goes, don't we? Thanks, Joyce. I'm glad you could join us here today. So what I will do here is I'm just going to once again stamp Where Would I Be Without a Friend Like You. Now for my pineapple, you know, this one here, we put it right on the card. Well, this here, that's what I need that little scrap of paper for. So I'm going to do as I did before. I am going to, excuse my arm and the camera. I'm going to ink the bottom half up with my crushed curry. But then I'm going to take the pumpkin pie ink and a sponge dauber and just real lightly, I'm going to go around the edges. That's going to warm up that edge a little bit. Then I will take my marker, the old olive marker. I will color my rubber, again using the side. Don't ever use your tip. I want your products to last a long time, and trust me, I have had these markers for years and years and years. They are some of the best. And then I'll stamp this. Don't forget to huff. It moistens up all that nice classic ink. And by doing that, I now have a pineapple that has a little bit more of color to it. It just softened that up. So when I go to cut this, I find the easiest way is I will come in here, and I like to leave just a little bit of an edge around my pineapple. I think it's easy to turn your cardstock too. And then when I get to all of the top of the pineapple, I just kind of go around like I would the distance out past the tips. I do like that. And then I can come in here and get in there and start chiseling out this center. I can come in here like this, flip it, out. Come in here like this, flip it, out. So I do that all the way around, and I just find it's easier to cut like that. Now with the paper snips, they are awesome. So you could even, they are sharp right up to the tip. So do be careful. At that point, you could even just come in and go around like that. But that's how I cut the tips. And again, with paper snips, it's easy. So look at that. Oh, look at that. That was quick, wasn't it? I love the magic of television, or even my little videos. So I already have this one cut out. Of course, we can step it up with a little bit of Wink of Stella. And what I really like about the Wink of Stella too is by bringing it in, again, you don't see it on the camera, but being a classic ink, it blends these colors just a little bit too. And then I can come up here. Da-da-da. And I have my Wink of Stella. Let me put just a little bit more right here. Shows up better in the stamp room, but trust me, you should all have a Wink of Stella. So here we have our pineapple. Now to step this up, of course, I'll give it a little bit of dimension. And I will put my pineapple on with some dimensionals. Okay. So now that I have that, it's a little bit different. I am going to, oh my goodness, don't you love how you lose your parts right here, sitting down. I know y'all are the same way. I think these things just take up legs and walk away. So I can put this here. I can, as I did before, take my piece of crushed curry that I embossed with a time-worn type folder. Oops. Well, I will pop it up. Probably should have put that on that first, as I told you. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hold on. My pumpkin pie, I was watching my comments, and it's like, do I answer or do I stamp? Let me put this together, Joyce, and I will tell you where to get those markers. This, again, is what also stepped it up, is I have this piece of pumpkin pie. I'm just going to layer this on here, so it really gives me a nice little edge that's going to bring in that pumpkin pie. Y'all know that drives me crazy. It wasn't totally straight. All right. There we go. So then I have this piece here I'm going to put on. Oh my goodness, I better not run out in midstream. I will put this here. And then I will put this on the top, but I'm also going to put this on with dimensionals because we are stepping this card up a little bit. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you the two together. So Joyce, you had asked, where do you get the markers? The markers are sold, thank you, Debbie. They are on page 126 of the annual catalog. And with the markers, you have to buy, you can buy the entire set all together and it comes with a case, or you can buy them by color groups. So soft subtles, regals, neutrals, brights, and then 2 sets of the in colors. So they don't sell them individually, but you get them by color groups. And they, you know, again, I've had mine for years and years and years. They're just like the blend in the fact that you have a thin tip, and you know that because there's a thin line. And then you have the broad end right here, and that's the fatter line over there. So lots of techniques and different things you can do with the markers. I sometimes think they get forgotten because of the blends, which are great for coloring, but lots of different things you can do with the many marvelous markers too. Not to mention, if I stamped something and part of it didn't come out, I could take my marker and marker it because it's the exact same color as our ink pads. So there is the front of my stepped up card. Again, I don't know if you can see the wink of Stella. And then on the inside, I'm going to do a little something different too. So for my inside piece, I am going to take the palms and wipe off this edge. I have been known to catch an edge. So again, you can trim that or just don't push so hard. I think it's really, really hard when you have a heavy hand and you're stamping, whether you're inking or pressing down. So I have inked that with Old Olive. Then I wanted to see what it would look like if I came in with the Evening Evergreen. I have a little bit of a darker ink, and I'm just going to come around these edges, hopefully giving myself a little bit of dimension in the color. I'm going to put this at the top, so I will huff it. You might want to have some mints at your table when you're stamping, especially if you're stamping with friends. And so I'll put this on here. And you can see a little bit. I probably could have done a little bit more, but you can see where it's a little bit of a color, different color. Okay. So it just kind of makes it more of a two-tone. Again, hard to see on the camera, but I will take this and just as I did before, another thing that might have worked if maybe I had used Pure Pizzazz and then the Evening Evergreen or the Soft Succulent in the Evergreen. You just want a lighter and a darker color to go across your edges. So I have that, and once again, just take one of these that I have pre-stamped. Watch your fingers, because again, these scissors are sharp all the way to the tip. Put my adhesive on here. I could have probably even put a little dimensional on there too to pop it up. And that is the inside of my card. Life is not complete without a little bit of wink of Stella. Even on my palms. And then I will put my adhesive on. And this is a stepped up version. I really wish you could see the two-tone on this palm better. I'm looking at my computer. You can't see it as well on the computer, unfortunately, but when you try it, it really is pretty having that two-tone in there. And that is a stepped up card. So you can, in a nutshell. You can do the simple, everything is flat. You could add a little wink of Stella to that because no card is complete without a little bling. But very simple, and it's all just using basic inks. Or you can step it up by bringing in that warm pumpkin pie and using a dauber to get that two-tone effect on your stamps. So, what do y'all think? What do you think? This is if you're in a hurry. This is if you have an extra 10 minutes at the most, because it really didn't take that much more. But do take advantage of Sale-A-Bration while it is here, because we do have it twice a year, but it's going to be months on down the road before you see free product again. And just keep in mind, these products are exclusive to Sale-A-Bration only. You will not see them in future catalogs, future publications. So I hope you all like that. If you would like to place an order, here is my February host code. Just put that host code in if your order is less than $150. If it's $150 more, then by golly, get the hostess benefits, because everybody loves free merchandise. So Gwen loves both of them. Good. Thank you, Debbie. Thanks, Bonita. I love having you all here. You know, we can't be in person all the time, but at least we can be together for lunch on a Wednesday. So join me again. If you don't already receive my newsletter, please go to my creatingwithcolleen.com blog and request it, because I always send the videos in the newsletters, and I will put you back to my blog, which has the dimensions, a picture of the dimensions written out. Just give me a day or two. So have a wonderful day, and you can see all my videos on Creating with Colleen Magness on YouTube. Take care, gals, and thanks again so much for your support and for joining me. I hope you have a blessed rest of the week. Bye-bye.